Hi, this is Tisha the Practical Entrepreneur. Welcome to another episode of Let Me Say This. My guest this evening is Carrie Twigg from Financial Brilliance. Carrie is a financial breakthrough coach, and I'm so excited to have her here tonight. Hey, Carrie, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Let me ask you this. Who is Carrie Twigg?
Yes. So I am a mother. I am a friend. I'm a wife. I'm a healer. I'm a businesswoman and an artist. I'm a lot of things, but what I really have found over the years is that I am meant to, help other women just really kind of succeed.
As women, I think we fill so many roles. And so I was listening to all of your roles and I'm like, wow, that's a lot. Is that a heavy burden to bear? In addition to being an entrepreneur and really trying to grow your business and grow your brand. And how do you cope with that? What are some of your coping strategies?
Yeah, I think it's a lot about time management. It truly is, and really identifying what's important to you, and being able to set those up, right? So, I mean, for example, like my artist stuff, like there's a certain time of the year that I actually kind of more focus on those things, right? Versus other times of the year when I'm focusing on other things. And so it's really identifying what the importance of those items are throughout the year and being able to prioritize that. So time management and really prioritization are my biggest ones, really. I definitely do a lot of meditation as well because you need to be in the right mindset to be able to really get through those to get through life, really.
Absolutely. I agree. So now there are a lot of financial strategists, analysts, planners, gurus, and the such out there. So what makes you different?
Yeah, that's a great question. Really, I take the holistic side and approach of that. Like I said, I class myself as a healer because I've been a massage therapist for 10 years in the past, and I really do a lot of it on the energy side of things. And so, in my journey, I've came across and been certified, as an emotion code healer. So I really be able to get with that, it's really identifying what those blockages are and getting to the root cause of, of those issues and problems and being able to identify those. And that's, that really goes with on the finance side of things as well, right? So, you know, growing up, I know we just mentioned this in the IG live, but growing up, I came from a family that we just didn't talk about money. That was a huge taboo, right? So you just kind of like, those items kind of like stick to you and they end up being like kind of just a sticky point, like a blockage of some sort that we don't even realize we have, right? And then you go through life and you kind of wonder why you're kind of stuck in some areas, right? So, and that's the biggest part is being able to identify what those are and being able to get past those blockages.
I think a key word you said there was being able to identify that you have a block. So
Mm-hmm.
what about the business owner or entrepreneur that doesn't know they have a block? They're frustrated, they're looking, and they're saying, I'm just not earning what I feel like I should be earning. So what are some tips or strategies or telltale signs that you do have some type of a block when it comes to money?
Yeah, no, that's good. So really the biggest things to look out for is like, if you are, you're going down through life and you are, you are capable of doing something, right? And you have that drive to actually get there, but you just, you know, think one thing happens after another and you literally you kind of feel like you're hitting a roadblock all the time, right? Like you get so far and then bam, you're hit with another bill or something, right? I mean, prime examples are really just that. Like you are going through life, you're starting to save money, you are, getting the, funds together, whatever it is that you want to start business, or say if you want to go on vacation, right? And then all of a sudden you have like a major hit of something like a bill, and you're just kind of like, what the heck? Like, I didn't foresee that coming. If you struggle to save money, that's another one too that a lot of people miss, because if you have a hard time saving money, you may blame it on because you like to spend stuff, or you might blame it on because you like to be able to, you deserve something. You get the I deserve it, right? Which is a classic one, because you work really hard and you want to get to the next level, and then all of a sudden you get, well, I deserve this and I'm going to just buy that, right? Those are signs that there's a deeper problem to what is actually going on.
A business owner who says, hey, I've got to spend this on this and this on that, and I can't save. What do you say to that business owner?
Well, it's usually not just one quick question, right? I mean, or one answer. It's, if someone's coming to me as, guidance, looking for a coach, and, I try and identify what the heck's going on with their business and why they can't get to the next level, right? And be able to identify what those blockages are and get past those, right? So once we are able to get past those, then we kind of move into what's important to them, what's in alignment to them. We kind of look at a long term, like 3 to 5 years. And a lot of people say 5 to 10 years, and that's great for, future planning. But when you are really wanting to change things, you really need to look at the nearer goals, right? Because you really need to get those ones kind of set up first so you can reach your longer term goals.
Right.
So when a business owner comes to me, it's really just kind of like, identifying what that is, like, and get through those blockages first, and then being able to go forward and getting what's important to them in their business strategy and what they want, because everyone's different in what kind of financial goals that they want or future. I mean, some people might think that they want to get a Lamborghini and that's what they want. Some people want to take trips for the rest of their life. That's what they want.
Travel.
Yeah. So everyone's different, right? So identifying what that is for each individual. So it's not just one stop shop. It's really, you have to identify it per person, because it's what's important to them.
Because it's like being you are a part of their team.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
An entrepreneur, business owner needs a team, whether it's a paid team or a support team, whatever it is, you need a team. Absolutely. So I know that you have been coached and work a lot with coaches. So what was your journey like moving from being coached to coaching others?
Yeah. When I say in coach, I've been, I always say I'm on a lifelong journey of, teaching and like learning, because I think that's huge, right? So, I've read hundreds of between self-help books and business school and all that. And that's great. But I mean, as a business coach, I've seeked business coaches myself, because, I think if you want to get to the next level in your business, that's what you need to do. You need to get to you need somebody else that's already been there and done it, and be able to get the guidelines and kind of like inspiration from them as well, and to be able to get to the next level, right? I highly suggest, getting a coach, whether if it's a life coach, a business coach, a fitness coach, whatever it is that you are wanting to get to the next level with, that's what coaches are for, right? We're there to support and help and inspire and hold accountable and all that fun stuff that you need to have.
How is a coach different from a mentor? Because a lot of people, if they've heard about mentors, they're familiar with that term. But then when you hear coach, it's like, I don't know if that's for me.
I think they're very similar, in my opinion.
I know you talked a little bit already about how you were able to kind of pivot with different things in your business because you focus on different things. But let's officially talk about it. So 2020 was a really tough year for all of us, especially for small business owners. So tell me a little bit about your business pre-COVID versus now, and how were you able to pivot or stay afloat?
Yeah, well, actually, that's actually when I started my business, was in during COVID. Yes.
Oh,
because
wow. Okay.
Yeah. The reason being is, it was something definitely I've desired and wanted to do, and knew that that was my path at some point, right? Like it was a calling. Like I knew that I meant to do this. But I've been in project management, and I've helped corporations build, their businesses and in all of that, right? So which kept me extremely busy, managing multiple, projects along the way and working a lot of hours. So yeah, during COVID, I actually was able to, everyone was working from home, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I physically was working from home, and being able to, because of my time management skills, was able to do start my own business and continue working on everything else at the same time. So I put in a lot of extra hours, but I also wasn't driving anywhere. So I, kind of did that. So I would say, I definitely was able to help other businesses though too, that were in that pivot zone, right? Being able to, go from, not being able to physically be in a storefront to turning their business into an online business, right? Because that's just something huge, and it still is a huge thing right now, because there are so many business owners out there that are storefront type of businesses that have lost their business because of COVID. And to be able to pivot them into being able to do like an online or something else or whatever. So that's kind of what I've been focusing on as well for, this year.
Absolutely. You and I have talked before. I mentioned that you've talked about it. So we hosted an IG live together. You talked about 5 tips for starting an online business. One of your tips talked about testing your idea. So tell me, how did you test your business idea?
Yeah. So definitely. So when like I said, when I started during COVID, I was really able to I kind of got into a lot of different groups that I belonged to, and that were very similar to, business coaching, financial coaching, life coaching.
Those on social media? Sorry, I just want to clarify how that was.
Yeah, and I did it on Facebook for that part of it. I was not online with Instagram at all during that time. Okay. I just recently started getting on Instagram in December, actually, of this past year. And so I really feel like sidetrack, Instagram and Facebook, they're both awesome. And I highly suggest that if you're going down one path, go down one path, get that one solved, and really get going into it, then go on to another, because we need all social medias, but don't get overwhelmed, right?
Because it can be overwhelming. Exactly.
Yeah, it's very overwhelming if you are just kind of getting into it. But to get back to that answer, sorry. So yeah, I was on Facebook and really just kind of getting into all the different groups and identifying the type of, audience that I felt was going to be a good fit for, my special need, my unique uniqueness of my niche and all of that. So those are the kind of groups that I went into, and some of them I was able to just straight up post polls and have answers, and some of them, because of guidelines, is like you want to always be considerate of rules and regulations as on there, because you don't want them kick you off or anything like that, or not follow the rules. So so some of them is, you go into and you see different posts, and you kind of look to see if somebody would be a match, and then you DM them and ask them if they're interested in taking your poll or your questionnaire or whatever. Okay. So it was just kind of a questionnaire base of things like that. And then I also did several free coaching sessions for a handful of people. And whether you do that or not was kind of up to you, but I felt it was beneficial because, like I said, I was only in the business world of coaching, never really on my own coaching. And so I kind of needed to know that I could do it myself, right? Like actually do that that's what I'm going to do. Right. So I went and did that. I had 5 different people, and I brought them through the whole process of basically what I do, right? And had great and wonderful results. And so that's kind of, where I went with that.
So now, were those 5 people that you knew, or were they people that you had identified through one of your social media channels?
Yeah, definitely identified through social media channels.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic. Now, do you still use a lot of social media and I assume the answer is yes, that you still use a lot of social media to get the word out about your business?
I do. I still use social media.
All right. And so you started on Facebook. You found that Facebook worked well for you. And then you went on to IG. And so how was that transition for you?
Wonderful. I have to say that I got myself a VA, a virtual assistant, and she was amazing on Instagram. So I have to owe all of that to her because I'm just going to be straight up. because it was a lot to take in, and more so because of the analytics behind it and all the hashtags and like just kind of how it all works. And I wasn't as familiar with that, you know. I always thought IG was for like posting my artwork.
Okay. Right.
So, you know, art places you go see, like, I don't know.
Right. And, you know, I think that's such an important thing that you just brought up. One, okay, you were able to hire a virtual assistant, but not everyone is able to do that. But that doesn't mean that you can't take advantage of multiple social media sites, because I do think it's very important. You know, I am very active on Facebook, very active on Instagram, very active on YouTube. I have a lot of videos up on YouTube, videos that, because I also do video production. So I have a lot of things that I've filmed or directed or shot or anything like that up on YouTube. What are some of the tools that you have used to help you manage that? Because I know that a lot of small business owners were wearing multiple hats, and it's like, I can't imagine adding one more thing to my list of things that I have to do.
Absolutely. No, so I start with like, with my project management background, I actually use Trello specifically for my business, my personal business stuff. And I love it because I'm able to have everything organized in my columns and be able to have like all passwords, all, I post like anything that I need to have for each individual thing identified. And that is for just kind of keeping track of that part of it, like the kind of the back end, right? But then you get into the actual posting of things. And, I've used Hootsuite in the past. I know you had talked about, what was the one that you use?
I use Buffer.
And I looked that one up after we talked on the IG live, and that one looks really compatible as well. Right. So there's a lot of them out there, and that you can utilize, and especially when you're using multiple, in social media platforms. I do also, I was using Canva, like because you can also do that to Facebook. I don't think they've integrated Instagram yet on that, but they also have.
No, either. I use Canva as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love Canva. That's my artist side of me. So.
Absolutely. I love Canva. And so, yeah, that's good. So I do use Buffer. I've used Hootsuite in the past. And I think that the important thing that I really want anyone who's watching this to understand is that we're throwing out all these names in Canva and all this stuff. And when we started using them, we didn't have any skill set in using them. We just started using them. So don't be afraid to take a chance and to try it, because in the long run, it's going to benefit you. Just pick one channel, pick one social media channel. I'm going to develop this. Pick one project management software. I know, Carrie, you mentioned you use Trello. I use either Asana. I use Asana, but I've also used Monday.com. They're all comparable. It really is just a matter of what is your preference, but try it out and just see and see if it helps make things a bit easier for you to manage. My next big lift is, I don't know if it will be TikTok or if it's going to be Twitter, probably TikTok. Because I like to have fun.
I think you should do TikTok. That's your personality, totally.
But send me an email, drop me a line on Facebook or Instagram, and tell me what should my first TikTok video be. So I am kind of curious to get into that. I'm sure my kids are like, Mom, no. But whatever. Yes, because I'm always fascinated. I teach entrepreneurship classes, and one of the lessons that we spend a lot of time on is choosing a name. So tell me, how was it that you decided to name your business Financial Brilliance?
That's a great question. That one took a little bit. I will tell you, I did a lot of mind mapping on that one because, I had gotten my niche down to the financial side of it. And I actually, to be honest with you, I actually started in the holistic. So I sometimes will call myself a holistic financial business coach because I do, like I said, I really do like to take the holistic side of it. So sometimes you may see that, but really, I focused on the financial side of it. And, you know, I think that all of us women are so brilliant, like amazing. And that if you are to start a business, you have to have some kind of brilliance to be able to do it.
Right.
So that's actually where it came from. So it's really like getting your financial brilliance, because it is like, it's your personal, like, what is it that you want? It's personal to you. So it's your physical brilliance that you're actually projecting out into the world. So that's actually where it came from.
I love that. And it's so true. And
Yes.
I think so, you know, volumes for women. I'm always pro girl power. Absolutely. All right. Fantastic conversation. Thank you so much for all the wonderful wisdom and information that you shared with us. Now, the way I end my show with every single guest is I ask them this last question. Here you go. Let me say this. And then I want you to frame it. Let me say this. And then whatever information, tips, advice that you have for entrepreneurs. So, Carrie, let's hear it.
Let me say this, that you are all brilliant, beautiful women, and do not ever be afraid to start your own business, because I want you to be the brilliant lady that you know deep down inside you are meant to be.
Oh, thank you so much. That spoke to my heart because, again, you know, as a woman, I know that we go through so many ups and downs, mothers and caregivers and daughters and sisters and friends and wives. And it's sometimes very difficult to figure out, is this what I really want to be? Or to make the time to say that I'm going to invest in me.
That's right.
So thank you very much for letting us know that we are brilliant, we are fantastic, and that we have the right to want to be financially free.
That's right.
All right.
Absolutely.
Here, thank you so much for tuning in. So Carrie, tell us, if somebody wants to get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you?
Yes, my LinkedIn, my Instagram handle is Financial Brilliance 2020. And you can reach me also on Facebook at Financial Brilliance. And I also have a Facebook group at Women Rocking Their Financial Brilliance.
Women Rocking Their Financial Brilliance. All right.
Yes.
Is that a private group or is it open to anyone?
It is a private group. So there's just a couple questions you have to ask, but you answer them and I'm more than happy to let you in.
All right, fantastic. All right, so Carrie Twigg, the holistic financial coach, the owner and founder of Financial Brilliance in the mountains in Colorado, who also, she told me during our break that she is also a snowshoe guide. So it was like a hiking guide, but with snowshoes in the snow in Colorado.
Love it.
So thank you so much, Carrie. Really appreciate it and looking forward to continuing to partner with you and to work with you as we go forward and continue to build our businesses. Take care. God bless everybody. All right. You know how to reach me, Tisha Tyler, Practical Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for tuning in. Can't wait to hear from you. Can't wait until I see you next time. Take care. God bless.